What if I told you that your brain has a built-in guidance system? Seriously, it's like a self-guided torpedo that can automatically lock onto any target you give it. So what if you could learn how to program that system for success? Well, in this explainer, we're going to unlock a super powerful mental model from a classic book that has, no joke, transformed millions of lives. But hold on. If we all have this amazing system, why is it so hard to achieve our goals sometimes? Why do we procrastinate or doubt ourselves or just fall short of the things we want the most? It really feels like we're our own worst enemy, constantly getting in our own way. Well, the answer comes from a pretty surprising place, the work of a plastic surgeon, of all people. This is Dr. Maxwell Maltz, and he wrote the classic bestseller Psycho-Cybernetics. Yeah, it's kind of a strange title, I know, but trust me, the idea at its core is an absolute game changer. So as a plastic surgeon, Dr. Maltz got really fascinated by what he called his failures. See, he'd perform a technically perfect operation, a success by any measure, but some of his patients stayed just as unhappy and insecure as they were before. He realized that just like the chemist he quotes here, he was learning his most profound lessons not from the easy wins, but from these psychological puzzles. And this led him to a huge discovery. He realized that changing a person's outer appearance didn't automatically change their inner reality. The real control center that was steering their life wasn't their face in the mirror. It was the face they held in their mind, their self-image. Okay, so how does this internal self-image actually control what we do and how we feel? This is where Maltz borrowed a really cool concept from the science of his day, cybernetics, to explain it all. He called it our internal servo mechanism. So what on earth is a servo mechanism? It's really just a fancy term for an automatic goal-seeking device. Think of a heat-seeking missile. It locks onto a target, right? And it uses any little deviation, any error, as feedback to constantly correct its course. Maltz said our brain and our nervous system work in exactly the same way. Now, according to Maltz, we actually have two of these things, a success mechanism and a failure mechanism. And here's the crucial part. Both of them are completely automatic and totally impersonal. They don't have feelings or opinions. They just work to achieve whatever target you feed them, whether that target is, I can do this, or I'm probably going to fail. Want to see this in action? Think about a baseball player in center field catching a fly ball. Do you think he's consciously calculating the trajectory, the wind speed, and exactly how fast his legs need to move? No way, he just runs. His success mechanism subconsciously processes all that data, makes a million little calculations based on past experience, and issues orders automatically. It's a perfect, everyday example of your inner guidance system just doing its thing. Oh, okay, so we've got this incredibly powerful automatic mechanism inside us. The big question is, how do we consciously program it for success? How do we make sure we're giving it the right target? Well, this is where things get really practical and, honestly, pretty exciting. The key, Maltz says, is our creative imagination. This is the thing that really separates us from every other animal. We can consciously think up goals. We can direct our success mechanism by creating these vivid mental pictures of what we want to achieve. You could say imagination is basically the programming language for this whole internal system. And the proof for this is, well, it's everywhere. Chess masters play entire complex games in their heads. In one study, salesmen who mentally role-play different scenarios boosted their sales by 100%. You've got concert pianists who practice intricate music away from the piano. And get this, golfers have been shown to lower their score just by visualizing a perfect swing. So how do we actually do this? Maltz laid out a really specific 30-minute daily exercise. You find a quiet place, relax, and picture yourself on a movie screen, succeeding at your goal. But here's the key. You have to add vivid detail, the sights, the sounds, the feelings, because your nervous system literally can't tell the difference between a real experience and one that you vividly imagined. You're basically creating practice memories that build the brain pathways for success. But of course, what happens when we stumble, when we try and we fail? For most of us, this is the exact moment the failure mechanism kicks into high gear. But Maltz gives us a totally radical and super empowering way to reframe what failure even is. Let's go back to that self-guided torpedo again. How does it hit its target? By constantly being just a little bit off target and then correcting. As Maltz puts it, all servo mechanisms achieve a goal by negative feedback, by going forward, making mistakes and immediately correcting course. Think about that. Mistakes aren't just a part of the process. They are the process.
So failure is not the enemy, it's just data. That's it. It's impersonal feedback. It's your guidance system sending a little signal that says, okay, that didn't work, let's adjust our aim a bit. It is not a judgment on who you are or what you're worth. It is simply course correction on the way to your target.
This is the exact mindset of some of the greatest innovators in history. You know, Thomas Edison didn't see thousands of failures when trying to invent the light bulb. He famously said, "I am not discouraged because every wrong attempt discarded is another step forward." He was just gathering feedback, one mistake at a time. So this brings us to the final and really the most important piece of this whole puzzle. We have this incredible internal system. We now understand that failure is just feedback. So what's our job in all of this? The bottom line of all of Psycho-Cybernetics is this. Your guidance system is always on. It is working 24/7 to move you towards some kind of target. If you don't consciously give it a clear, positive goal, it's just going to automatically lock onto the negative, fear-based ones that get fed by worry and doubt. So your single most important job is to give it a worthwhile target to aim for. It's an unbelievably powerful system, and it is right there, waiting for your instructions right now. So the only question that really matters is, what target are you going to give it today?